There we go. Okay. Yo, JYT. All right, 1 2 1 2. We live. We live. We live. We live. What up, y'all? What up? Yo, y'all can hear it? Let me know if it sound good. Let me know if it look good. JYT, what up? Jazzual Suspect, what up? Anxiously watching, what up? A Quincy Jones, what's good, my boy? Malayla's Child, Right to Dream. You already know the vibes. Hey, Josh Moore, thank you, man. I'm glad that y'all come through to this channel, man. We live. Oh, we getting right into it. So hold on. We're gonna get right into it. But yo, I just wanted to say, I'm just trying new things out, man. Y'all know my story already, right? MTV, I had shows, Genius, I had shows, Amazon, I had shows, and it's just me doing it on my own. So the fact that y'all come through, y'all support the channel means a lot to me. The fact that y'all, just watch and we be in the comments, you know how we be. And so I'm like, man, let me try live. I did one at the height of the Drake Kendrick battle, and that live went really, really well. I said, man, let me just do another one just because it's a Ask Me Anything. I didn't really have an agenda. I ain't really have a topic, but just wanted to get on here with y'all and talk hip hop. So we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, and we'll take the conversation wherever it wants to go. Obviously, love to all y'all. Love to the people who do the super chats and all that. That's gonna take priority. So if you want to drop something in the super chat, let's go. But regardless, we just all here together. So I'm gonna take some of these questions, one by one. Let me just see if I could hold on. Let's see something. Let's see something. I want to see if I could put some of these questions up. Right. Boom. All right, so JYT, look, here we go, man. We right here with it. JYT want to know, do you think Drake is done with the beef? I hope so. I hope so. I think it's over, man. I think it's clear that Kendrick won this thing. I think it was a great battle. I think we got great records from the battle. If y'all follow my commentary, there was definitely things that I thought each artist did amazing. There was things that I thought that was missteps on both sides. I talked a lot about the misinformation. But Kendrick won this. Like Kendrick won the battle. And that's not me who determines that. That's the people who determine that. That's the culture who determines that. Like if you just look outside, if you feel the temperature, if you see what's happening with Not Like Us right now, Kendrick won. Do I think Drake is done with the beef? I hope so. I hope it's done. Now, I think he's still going to send shots. Historically, when the battle ends, we still get shots after, right? Like Jay-Z and Nas, Ether and Takeover and Super Ugly wasn't the end of it. Like Jay dropped Blueprint 2, Nas still had little slide shots. So I think you're gonna have little references to the battle for a while, especially from Drake's side. He probably has some explaining to do about why he bowed out on the Heart Part 6. But I think the battle is over. I think we'll see some residual comments, but I don't think we're gonna get more diss records like what we had when we had like Family Matters and Meet the Grams and Not Like Us and Push Ups. And I think that part of it is dead, is done, and it's on the decline. But that's just me. You know what I mean? Cool. I hope that answered your question. Uh let's see. I'm gonna look for more questions. I love your channel, says Josh Moore. Anxiously waiting sounds great. Dope. Cool. Yo, peace from the Bay. Yo, Xavier, man, and I know your son wants to play FIFA, man. That's cold, but thank you for rocking with us. Hope all is well. Question. Let's see. The Void of Voice podcast says, aside from podcasting, how can I get my foot into music journalism and get access to interviewing artists? Uh I think it's two different things. I think you got to find your space in music journalism. Like, I came in writing, right? I came in at the Source and Double XL and Complex writing album reviews. I had to do that for years before I did my first interview. Um, I think you got to establish yourself as a voice in the culture. Now, listen, I don't think like writing, like magazines don't exist in the way that they did. So I don't think print journalism is the thing. I think the blog era has passed. I don't think as many people are writing articles. You should definitely look for hip hop websites that you want to write for and pitch ideas to them. But I think the way to get it in 2024 is to start your own platform, be it your own podcast, your own YouTube channel, do it with consistency and build an audience and build enough of a repertoire for yourself, and then the artist interviews will come. Good luck with that. All right. Cool. What up, Rob? Salute to the chat. You got some of that. Joker, what up? You got some of that Not Like Us merch. Yeah, I did. I got the fried rice shirt. So I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. I definitely got the fried rice shirt. I seen that, had to get it. So yep. Let's see too. We got somebody in the super. The other wise guys. Let me see how I get your I want to get your thing to, here we go. Boom. The other wise guys. Thank you, man. Thank you for showing love. Your take on the Uncle Luke response. You know, I didn't see the whole video. If you want to drop another comment or let's just chat and tell me what it is. I didn't see the whole video. I know that dropped today. But I saw the headline, right? So I didn't see everything that Luke said. But to me, it appeared that Luke said that the whole Rick Ross getting jumped. And first of all, I'm glad he's okay. My man Sam Sneak is a good dude. I'm glad Sam is okay. Them getting jumped in Vancouver was unfortunate. And it seemed to me that Luke said something that he was critical of Drake, that saying that Drake kind of has condoned the violence and by liking the post. I feel like that was the gist of it. If I got that wrong, let me know or ask me a very direct question because I didn't see it. Matter of fact, you know what? Boom. Let's do this. If this is not gonna bore y'all, let me just pull it up. I'm gonna watch it right now because I want to give a direct answer to this since you asked. Um, give me a second. I'm pulling this up right now. I'll play it. Here it go. Oh my god, this is 13 minutes. This is crazy. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna need the abridged version. Let's see.
My boy Ross and his guys in Canada. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, this 13 minutes. I don't want to play this for 13 minutes. But Uncle Luke reacts to Rick Ross's crew getting jumped in Canada and tells Drake that he has just inserted himself into violence by liking the post on Instagram of Rick Ross's crew getting jumped. Yeah, man. I don't completely agree with Luke, but if Drake didn't have anything to do with that, just leave it alone. I don't know. I understand him and Ross are in a rap battle, but I don't take and I wouldn't take if that was me, I wouldn't take any I wouldn't laugh at that. Like I wouldn't like that post. I wouldn't insert myself into that. If I didn't have anything to do with it, I'm not inserting myself into it. Even if I felt like Ross deserved it or whatever, that's just karma. And I wouldn't have liked that post. So, you know, I think you just got to be able to deal with what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? When you insert yourself into that. I also think Ross and them by playing Not Like Us in Canada and kind of trolling in that way, you kind of open yourself up to that. You don't know how people are going to react. But as far as I could tell, those weren't OVO affiliates. And you just pissed some people off. So there's that. I hope that answered the question for sure. Boom. Rob, are you excited about the Common and Pete Rock album? Jazzle Suspect. Yep. Nah, I'm super excited, man. I've been texting Pete Rock. I can't wait to see. I hear nothing but amazing things. They're gonna come to because y'all know I still work at Genius, so I do behind the scenes work as a VP up at Genius. So we're gonna actually have them come up to Genius. I think they come in on the 12th to break down lyrics to a song. I'm super excited to see what Pete Rock and Common do. This shit should be dope. So yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited. Cool. All right. Where am I at now? I'm gonna go back up in the chat. I'm gonna try to get to every question. Um, let's see. You got some Not Like Us merch. I did that. T Map, shout out to you. Yeah, we're gonna keep going consistent. Independence. I'm excited to be a part of the live. Look, if you from the States, you know, tomorrow Independence Day, so you got the right name. The vibe is real, support is key. I appreciate y'all. Takes by Taylor wants to know, Rob, are you still working on music? Yes, absolutely yes. You know, a lot of people don't know or don't recognize me for the music that I do, man. But shit, I'm dope. Like if I do say so myself. So yeah, I'm working on something new. There's gonna be new music soon for sure. Definitely this year, there's gonna be new music. C Jones, what's next up for the big three spots? I feel like that was a typo. After Cole, K Dot, and Drake. I don't know. I don't know who's the big three after that. It hasn't emerged. I mean, K Dot is at the top of the hill. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Drake's career after this. I'm a little two things. I don't think Drake has dropped the right music or has made the right moves post battle. The Hey Delilah joint, the Camila joints didn't hit. The Sexy Red joint was cool. I wasn't mad at You My Everything. Um, and but I don't think Drake has necessarily dropped the right joints after this battle. I'm not counting him out, but I hate the social media narrative. I'm on social media a lot. I see what a lot of people are saying. How people also count him out. People are acting like Drake was never fire after this battle, and I think it's okay to be like, he took a L here. But to say that Drake was never fire, we just lying to ourselves. And I know a lot of people are going to the extreme saying that. That's an extreme point of view, but that's a point of view that I've been seeing, and I think that's ridiculous. And then Cole to fall off. I'm just waiting. Definitely, the landscape is about to change. This whole thing shook things up, but I don't know where it goes. I don't know. I can't see it. Okay, yeah, we answered this question about Pete Rock. Miranda, do you think Kendrick really dropping the album soon? I hope so. I thought he was. I had heard even before this battle took off. I had heard that there was a Kendrick album coming this year. I don't know. I hope so. But I also think it's very I, it's a very Kendrick thing to do to not drop anything, just to do these joints and then disappear for a while. But I hope an album is coming. Did you sit with the Lupe Samurai album more after the video? Thoughts? Um, I'm gonna get back to that in a second. Nah, you know, a little bit. I have been traveling over the weekend. I still got to sit with it. So my thoughts are the same thoughts that were in the video. I want to get to Flying and Dingo. What's an artist that came out in the early 2010s that you thought wouldn't still be around by now? And what's your favorite album of the 2010s? Damn. An artist that came out that I thought still wouldn't be around. Wow, that's a weird question. That I thought wouldn't still be around. Like who outlasted? Um, and that's a tough question. You got me stumped. Like I don't think about it like that. Um, who's still around there? I mean, you know, I'm thinking Cole. I'm thinking I should look at these freshman covers, right? I have all these freshman covers here. I believe in these guys. Who the see for me? Who did I think was still gonna be around? Like I still thought B.O.B. was gonna be around. I thought Charles Hamilton had a real shot. Um, who didn't I think was going to be around? I'm sorry, man. I really want to answer your question. That's just a tough question to answer. I just don't think like that in terms like that. You know what I'm saying? And my favorite album of the 2010s, Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City for sure. I'll get back to you on that. I'll try to think. If I come up with something, I promise I'll get back to you on that. But I just don't really think like that. What's an artist that came out in the early 2010s that you thought wouldn't still be around by now? I mean, Future. I had read an MTV article back in the day that was like Future is the future of hip hop. Like, and this is like astronaut Future mixtape days. Oh, who did I count out? Looking at these freshman covers, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. That's a really tough question. That's a tough one. Um, does hip hop care about Big Sean anymore? I'm only asking because it seems like when he drops something fire, people push it to the side. Yeah, man. Sean is cold. Sean is like dope, man. I think this time around he was just a product of bad timing. Like he dropped right as that Drake, Kendrick, and Cole was still in it, right when that was heating up. I think it was just bad timing. I think hip hop still cares about Big Sean. I hope so. He got this new joint with Eminem, the Toby joint. I want to see Big Sean win. I absolutely want to see Big Sean win. So, but yeah, I feel you though. I do feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Sean for sure. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. We're gonna go back. Did I sleep? What was the last one? Some favorite Lupe songs. Hurt My Soul, Hurt Me Soul is always on my top. Um, Hip Hop Saved Me. Cool. Uh, I think Mural, like as a for an MC, as from an MC standpoint, I think Murals is amazing. Like Jesus Christ, that record blows my mind every time, man. Lupe is cold with it. Um, what's next for the big three spots? I think I answered that already. Comparing the Canadian to Nas or Jay-Z is disrespectful. Drake is the Canadian now. Nah, man, he's look, dog. That run that he's on, like he's up there now. What's different is the writing thing makes it different. It puts Jay and Nas, I think, in a different category. But if we being real, people have said that Nas had been accused of having people write for him too. I've never seen the proof. I've heard the accusations. I've never seen the proof. So the whole writer thing for Drake is an asterisk to me, right? But if we take that out of it and we're just talking about pure artistry, he's up there as one of the greats, man. I think we could put him up there with Jay and Nas, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I haven't all the way wrapped my head around the writer thing, like, but like having the writer taints it for me. But if we're talking about hip hop artists versus like an MC list, like he's up there with Nas and Jay. That run that Drake is, I mean, from 2009 to now is unprecedented. Nobody stays hot that long. Have you heard what's the first breakdown of 616? And do you follow DC too? I don't follow DC. I saw bits and pieces of that breakdown on social media, and I thought some of it was good. I thought some of it was a reach. Like the whole, I look, man, I still don't believe, like, you have to show me proof of pedophilia. Like, pause. That sounds crazy, but I get that it sounds good in a rap song. But the whole how they started breaking down like the Millie Bobby Brown and all of that, I was like, I don't know. And I don't know that Kendrick is rapping from Drake's perspective at the beginning of 616. Because then when does the switch happen? Because he definitely goes on to rap from his own perspective. It- I'm not saying they're not right. Like I think they did a lot of dope work and a lot of dope digging, but not everything connect. Like also like the Dubai line didn't really connect. I thought that was a bit of a reach. I'm not discounting their work. I'm just saying I'm not buying all of it. You know what I'm saying? Totally. Like that's just me. Let's go back. And I always said, listen, man, we're gonna get through as many questions, but definitely the super is like Xavier, what's up? Like that takes priority. So when I see one pop up, I'm gonna jump right into it. But Xavier says hot take. Before I ask, Hove and Big L are top five. I think the 2010 wave might be one of the best ever. Where do you rank the 2010s? Yeah, I think so too. Look, man, I'm a 80s baby. To me, the 90s, look, man, in the 90s, we're talking about Nas, Jay, Wu, Snoop, um, just so much greatness in the 90s. But the 2010s, this is really the emergence of Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Future, Nicki, Sean, Nipsey, you know what I'm saying? Wiz. Like, yeah, the 2010s rank up there as one of the best ever. Probably for me, might be my that might be my second favorite era. I'd say the 90s first, and then 2010s is either second or third for me in terms of decades. I got a hot take for you though, Xavier. You gonna hate me. Hove is my favorite rapper. Rest in peace to Big L. You're speaking to somebody who bought Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous when it dropped. When it dropped, I bought that album. I don't rank Big L in my personal top 10. I think L was nice. L was a beast. I'm not taking nothing away from L, but it kind of hurt as a Big L fan. I seen a lot of the love come from him and the rankings come from him after he passed. That Big Picture album to me wasn't like great. Um, but that's just me. Y'all gonna kill me for that. But that's a hot take. So you shared yours. I'll share one with you too. All right. Dante Hawkins, what's your take on nepotism in hip hop? Shit, the talk right now is nepotism in basketball. Nepotism exists everywhere in the world. Look, man, I got two kids, man. I work really hard, and if I could give my kids a head start, you know what I'm saying? If I could give them a head start into something, I'm gonna do it. Like that's what I work for to make my kids' life easier. So I don't know who you're talking about in hip hop. You got to ask me like a more specific question. But I see that with LeBron James, a lot of people are saying, and I get it. But shit, LeBron worked hard and he could pull that power move for Bronny. Now the whole thing come. Now Bronny got to show and prove. Now you just put a lot of pressure on him. Like ultimately, like I think LeBron could get him in the league. Bron can't keep him in the league. Like either he gonna sink or swim. And I think it's the same thing in hip hop. I'm trying to see where we've seen that in hip hop. But this whole world is built on nepotism. This whole world is built on not what you know, who you know. And in hip hop, if we're talking about artists as well, like talent is part of it, but it's also who you know and positioning. Take somebody like I'm trying to think of just who has nepotism. Take somebody like Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri's father was an executive at Sony. Like Jermaine Dupri's father is tapped in, one of the top guys at Sony. And then Jermaine gets into the music business. But guess what? Jermaine Dupri has produced classics. Jermaine Dupri has earned his keep. So maybe his father did help him. I don't know what their relationship is, but maybe his father did help him get into the music. But shit, it was Jermaine's work ethic that kept him there. You know what I mean? Um, Let's see. I don't want no trouble. If you can only listen to one hip hop album for the rest of your life from any year, which album would it be and why? It would be Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death. That's my favorite hip hop album of all time. Couple reasons. If there's only one that I can listen for the rest of my life, that's a double disc. So it's a lot of music. You know what I'm saying? And Big has a song for every mood on that for me. Like it's dope, just hip hop shit, just lyrical shit like kicking the door. It's dope storytelling things like somebody gotta die and was beef. Um there's just records that make you feel good, like more money, more problems, and hypnotized. There's records that make you feel sentimental, like Miss You and Sky's the Limit has grown to be one of my favorite Biggie records, the most inspirational, one of my favorite inspirational records. So for me, that's easy. That's Life After Death. That's a Notorious B.I.G. from 1997. It's a double disc and it has a bunch of stuff to fit a whole bunch of different moods. I don't want no trouble says whose flow was better, Jay-Z on Reasonable Doubt album or Biggie flow on Life After Death album. That's crazy. Um Big's flow on Life After Death. And Jay is my favorite rapper, but Big to me, Big is the perfect rapper. Like Big voice, just the way he falls into a beat for me is perfect every time. I never heard Big out of pocket. Big be so in pocket every single time. So yeah, Big's flow better on Life After Death. But I mean, you talking about two of the greatest to ever do it. You know what I mean? Names Amine. What's up, man? Hi Rob. In your opinion, what was the turning point when fans became so obsessed with numbers? Did your generation care as much about who sold and who flopped? Yeah, that's a good question. I remember in the 80s, like EPMD. Was it on So What You Saying? If I got it wrong, it's definitely EPMD. I think it was on Such What You Saying. Or was it Please Listen to My Demo? No, So What You Saying? They talked about sales, something 30 days later, the LP went gold. So what you saying? So even like in 80s, that's like 88. Like rappers are concerned with sales, right? And 30 days later, the LP went gold. So what you saying? They're bragging about their sales, but it still wasn't so much of a thing. I think, and the easy thing to say, it really became prevalent, I think, with 50. I think 50 weaponized that more than anybody. So around when we get to 2003, I think 50 started weaponizing sales more than anybody. And then I think as an extension, the fans then weaponize sales. But I also think it coalesces with the rise of the internet when that information is readily available. Sales information wasn't readily available to us. We weren't buying Billboard magazine in the 90s because that Billboard is a trade magazine. It's a business to business magazine, right? Like it's meant for to sell to people within the business. We were buying the Source and Double XL, and sometimes that information would creep into there, but it wasn't like we were watching the charts. Nas was a classic to me. It might have sold maybe 60,000 the first week, maybe. I didn't know what it sold. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I also didn't know what Life After Death sold the first week. I remember what Doggy Style sold, like almost like 800,000, 850,000, because I remember MTV was reporting on it, but we didn't look at the numbers so much. So I think it's a combination of 50 weaponizing his sales. I sell more than you. That means I'm better than you. Because really, too, the rappers who sold the most weren't the best rappers. Like I think Vanilla Ice went diamond. Hammer was going diamond. Hammer was a force, but Hammer wasn't like the best lyrically. Vanilla Ice wasn't somebody that we took seriously. So the people that sold the most weren't always the dopest. And that's no disrespect to Hammer. Hammer had hits, but I'm just saying Hammer wasn't regarded as like the way a Nas was regarded or Biggie was regarded. Hammer was regarded as a hit maker. Um, but so yeah, I think 50, and then I think the rise of the internet when that information started becoming readily available to fans. Where does Dot rank all times? And controversy aside, does Jay have the best discography of all time? Um, I mean, there's a personal opinion, right, Rashawn? To me, Dot's in my top 10 right now. I got to think about it. Dot might be in my top five. If he's not five, he's six. I got to think because I got Jay, I got Nas, I got Big, I got Pac. Scarface is a personal favorite of mine because of how his music affects me. But I might put Kendrick above Scarface. At the Wayne is up there. It's a lot. It's tough. Kendrick is definitely top 10. For me personally, he's probably 5 or 6. Does Jay have the best discography of all time? Controversy aside, he's up there. That's a big case. I think you got to make a case for Kanye. I think you got to make a case for Outkast. Um, I think you can make a case for Jay-Z. I think a lot of people could make a case for Drake, but I don't think so. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I know a lot of people would. But does Jay have the best discography of all time? Arguably, yes. Arguably, Kanye West has the best discography of all time. If he doesn't have the best, it's in the top 3, definitely top 5. But I would absolutely put Outkast in that conversation, and Outkast may have the best. I would absolutely put Jay-Z in that conversation. How do you categorize artists like Don Toliver or Uzi? And when does the culture start to have the combo about the evolution of hip hop sound in the future? I think we have to have that conversation about the evolution now. I think the sound has absolutely evolved. Um, I think Uzi is still hip hop because he raps, he comes from rap, the way he dresses. Hip hop isn't just rapping, right? It's dress, it's the way you present yourself. And I know even Uzi kind of pushes the boundaries. Uzi, identifies as they. I think he pushes the boundaries of gender norms with the way that he dresses and stuff like that. But if you kind of look at the guys from the early 80s, from the late 70s, like Furious Five, like they were dressing in the tightest clothing. One guy was called Cowboy and he wore a cowboy uniform. If you looked at Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force, they used to dress like in space outfits because they were all like inspired by like Parliament and Funkadelic and George Clinton. So Uzi is doing something way different and he's doing him, but I think it kind of falls in that same line of an Africa Bambaataa, of a Parliament Funkadelic. Like it comes from that same lineage. So I think he's evolved hip hop for sure, but I think he's still hip hop at his root and his core. Like we be see Uzi breakdancing. Like if that's not hip hop, and same thing with Don Toliver. Like there's a lot more melody with Don Toliver, but rappers was singing since the 80s. If you go back and listen, you can look at it on YouTube. The Cold Crush brothers, when they were battling, like they were singing when they were battling. Or you look at somebody like DJ Hollywood, like he was singing, or even, think about Biz Markie, Just a Friend. Like he wasn't the greatest vocalist, but he used to have the whole club singing, and you say he's just a friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there was always melody in hip hop. Don't let them tell you that rappers singing is something new, or rappers infusing melody into their flows is something new. So I think Don Toliver, I think Uzi are evolving hip hop, but I wouldn't divorce them from the culture because what they do is still rooted in the culture. I hope that answers your questions. I don't want no trouble. Did Method Man have the talent to make a classic album? I'm asking because Meth was nice, but his discography isn't great. Man, yes. To answer your question, yes, I think Method Man absolutely has Method Man as an MC. When I was kind of talking about Biggie before, like how he just falls in pocket, Method Man is one of those ones too. The way he just falls in pocket. Method Man has kind of like the perfect voice to be a rapper. His flow, just the way he falls onto the beat. So Method Man has all the ingredients. I think absolutely he has the talent to make a classic album. Going back, and I don't know how old you are, but 94 is when Cal came out. That was his debut album. And also that's when Nas Illmatic dropped, and that's when Biggie Ready to Die dropped. I'm gonna tell you right now, at the beginning of 94, Meth is the most anticipated. First of all, in 94, we're talking about, you remember when Jay-Z said who's the hottest MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas? Who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, right? Jay grew into that. At the time in 94, Jay wasn't in that conversation. Jay said that in 97, but let's say 94, when Biggie debuted and Nas debuted, Jay was not in that conversation. Method Man was in that conversation. In 94, we were talking about Meth. It's in terms of New York rap, right? Also respect due to Snoop. But in 94, we were talking about Meth, Big, and Nas. Meth was absolutely in that conversation. I don't think that Cal didn't hold up the way that Ready to Die held up, and Illmatic held up. So to answer your question, though, yes. Ball for ball, Beans or Pusha T, who you got? Oh, oh God. Ball for ball, I'm gonna answer this in two ways. Ball for ball, Push. I'm a bigger Push fan than I am Beans. I love just the cerebral nature of Push's lyrics, right? Like some of the stuff I don't get right away. Some of the stuff like I'll encounter later on in life. Like Push just be dropping jewels. He be saying some shit. So, but I think if they battled, like if they had to go head to head, bar for bar, I think Beans just has a way more aggressive style. Like Beans is like Push is just on some smooth criminal shit. Beans is like just punch you in your face aggression. So I think if they had the battle, I think Beans, if we're talking ball for ball, but my personal favorite ball for ball is Pusha. I hope that answers, and I hope that wasn't too political for you. All right, we're gonna get back into the regular. Thank y'all, man. We was in the super chat for a while. But we're gonna get back into the regular joint. Um Corpo wants to know why you so awesome, man. That's because y'all put me up here, man. You only as dope as the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And I think this channel is dope because of y'all, straight up. Um, JYT said, I really think Eminem was dissing Jay-Z on Toby because of the Renegade verse. I don't think so. Check my video. You probably saw the video about it. I hear you, and I hear why you say that. I don't think so. Like I don't think he was dissing Jay. I think M was just standing up for himself. Is there any way you could get your MTV archives back? That's a good question. Oh man, I think I threw the paper away. Let me see if I can find it. Damn. Ah, there's a website. There is a website. Hold on. Oh my god, I might have thrown it away. There's a website. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Pause. Let me see if I find it. Hold on, web. Yeah, okay. If you go to oh man, I can't find it. But go to web.archive.org, and you'll be able to find it. So the Internet Archive is a not-for-profit, and they use the Wayback Machine to get a lot. They got about 460,000 MTV News articles and recovered them. So if you go, I already looked, I started to find some, but if you go to web.archive.org, some of that stuff should be there. St. Andrew says, "Oh, I love his constructive criticism. My close friend Big Germ and I are about to release our second record, and his feedback will be invaluable." What up? What up? What up? Um, is that Big Germ from Pittsburgh? Okay, let's see what else. I'm just gonna take questions for now because it's a lot here, but we'll just cycle through. Takes by Taylor says Drake probably is okay with weaponizing his fan base, just like Nicki is, to be honest. Um, Trav LLJ says, I re-listened to Champagne Moments and Rick Ross taunts were centered around Drake being a white boy. So I think the Vancouver guys were renegades and not related to Drake. Yeah, I don't think they were related to OVO. Yeah. I don't think it was an OVO thing at all. Um Love from Jamaica. Yo, what up, Veronica? I love Jamaica. Let's see. Press like anyone. Um I answered this one already, right? Yep. Excited for Pete Rock. Rick Ross kind of brought it on himself, let's be honest. Yeah, man. I don't know. You don't go to anybody's town and just sleep on them, man. But I'm glad everybody is okay. You said Kendrick and Drake spoke before the beef setting out rules. Yeah. Um, or during the beefs, like after push-ups. There was some message sent back and forth. I'm not sure if it was a direct conversation. I'm not sure if it was text, but there was a message sent. Drake alludes to it in the lyrics, but basically after the Whitney line, it was just like, "Yo, keep the family out of this." You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen. How do you feel about Detroit rap artists that are now blowing up like Skilla Baby, Baby Tron, Babyface Ray, Ice Square, Vezo, Boldy James? I think it's dope. I think what Detroit is doing is super dope. I think they got their own style. I think they you could see how they're influencing other regions. I like the vibe that Detroit is on right now. Shout out to Ice Square Vezo. I had interviewed him last year when I was at Amazon, and we had rotation roundtable. I think Babyface Ray is dope. Um, Baby Tron on that new Eminem joint, like really impressed me. So for sure. Devious Mind said it's so sick to hear Pete Rock rap again too. Here, I'll share you something about Pete Rock. Devious. I probably shouldn't say this, but I mean, whatever, man. He definitely reached out to me to work. He was like, "Man, I got to get you some beats." Pete Rock definitely hit me and said, "Yo, I got to get you some beats." And so my thing was, where? I'll go to Mount Vernon. I'll book the studio. Let's go. And he was like, "Man, I got a couple projects I got to get off first, but I'll holler at you." But he definitely said he wanted to work. We'll see if that happens. Um, let's see. Just tuned in. And I'm sorry, I know. Damn, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot here. I'm trying to get through it. Just tuned in. Does J. Cole music hit different now after he announced he was stepping back from the beef? Not for me, because it was a very J. Cole thing to do. I liked his Thames verse. I didn't like Grippy. I thought Grippy was a bad move. But you know, do you think we're really getting a Kendrick album? Yeah, I'm not sure. I hope so. I think so. And what do you hope to hear on it? I don't know what I hope to hear on it, but I think it's going to be more aggressive. My bet is that it's going to be more aggressive than any Kendrick album we got. BET Awards impressions. You know what? I didn't get to see the BET Awards. I was traveling. I was in Tacoma, Washington this weekend, and my flight got delayed, so I missed the BET Awards. What was your favorite parts, though? I didn't really see. I saw Keith Lee and Taraji P. Henson. There was a controversy. I saw Usher's speech that they cut off a little bit, but I didn't see a ton from it. Independence, your pen is sharp as fuck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, what's your take on Smino? He's cool. Smino is dope. I think he's super talented. I think he's super talented. I met him once or twice. We worked with him at Genius. I think Smino is super talented. I'm interested to see where he goes from here. Underrated Kendrick been co-signed. Fire waiting on that album, bro. Issa, what's up? Who says there has to be three? There could be five. You talking about the big five. Question. What's your take on nepotism in hip hop? We did that. Your next shit. 7 October's. What's up? Salute, Rob. You've been killing it with your videos. You've been talking comments. What's your thought on the rumor that about Wesley reprising his role as Blade in the upcoming Deadpool Wolverine movie? It'll be cool to see. I think they're gonna slide a lot of cameos in that Deadpool Wolverine movie. So it'll be good to see Wesley come back, because the Blade movie was important. You know what I'm saying? I think we overblow it a little bit though. Like I think a lot of people is like, well, Blade is the reason that the MCU took off. Like it gets deeper than that. I can't give Blade like all the credit for that because even the Blade movie, Blade wasn't marketed as a comic book movie. Like Blade was like a vampire. Like a lot of people saw Blade and didn't even know it was a comic book. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to when we saw the first Iron Man movie, like it was clear what they were trying to do. Still like dope movies, cult classics. I think Blade is, but I think Wesley coming back as his role in Blade would be dope. But I wonder if that's going to be true because I saw a screenshot and it looked like they used the Sticky Fingers version of Blade. So it'll be interesting, but I can't wait to see Deadpool Wolverine. Rob, you seen any live shows recently? Thinking about SWV at MSG, the Tiny Desk was amazing. SWV is amazing. Yeah, I got to get tickets to see SWV and Escape. I'm probably going to go to the New Jersey one just because I don't know if I feel like going into the city. I live in Jersey now, so I might. The PNC Bank Art Center is like a cool vibe in the summertime, so I might do that. One more question. Did you watch the 616 breakdown video from What's the Dirt? What are your thoughts? Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was cool. I thought they did a lot of good research. I don't believe everything in that video. There was a lot of things that I'm like, this might be kind of a reach. I don't know if Kendrick was rapping from Drake's perspective at the beginning of the record. And that's the premise of the whole thing, right? And then the whole thing about the wine coolers. What if Kendrick drinks wine coolers? What if Kendrick drinks spritzers now? Like, I don't know. Like, it was cool, and I think they did a lot of research. I think they make a lot of points. I'm not even refuting what they said in that video. But I can't co-sign it neither. Like, I really don't know. I wasn't convinced. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what else. Yeah, we just talked about that. Every time I hear your voice, I think of Taylor Alderdice. That's dope. Yeah, I didn't see the BET Awards. Yeah, everybody's saying the thoughts on the BET Awards. Yeah, I should go back and watch it. I heard the Usher tribute. I heard people were upset, or people were like fake upset because it was all women. I guess Childish was in it, and then Tiana and Victoria magnified the hunger. That's cool. I'm cool with it being all women. Back to back. I like that record. Whatever happened with that? I don't know. I told you I say in my video I hinted that I was gonna look at it. Like I spoke to Daylight during while I was making all the videos and because the question was, did Daylight write back to back? And he did it. I asked him and he said that he did it. Yachty has wild longevity. That's a good one, Joker. Who asked that question? Somebody. Well, he's not from the 2010s, but Flying Indigo asked that from the 2010s that you thought you wouldn't be around and still around. I guess Yachty was. He was maybe like 2016 that he started. Yeah, I didn't see Yachty. And that's my man. I didn't see Yachty evolving. That's a good answer to that. I didn't see Yachty evolving as he has, and it's dope to see. So shout out to Yachty. Um, where do you rank the 2010s compared to others? Second or third for me. I said that. What's your thoughts on Currency's career and music? He's one of my all-time favorite, but never gets the major pub. I don't think Currency goes after the major pub. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Currency. The fly thing about Currency, and I love his music. The fly thing about Currency is that he's independent. He does things his way, and you still see him do all the fly shit that all the supposed big rappers do, right? The jury. You still see him courtside at the games. You still see him in the cars that he wants. So I love that Currency has been able to do it his way. Because when we did this cover, I was at Double XL when we did this. Man, he was really trying to figure it out. Like I remember this day. Like this was the figure it out era. This was like it wasn't promised for him. So I love that Currency. Um, I love that Currency is just doing his thing, man. And I want to collaborate with him one day too on some music. I sent him a joint and he never got back to me called Tote Hill. Shout out to Devious Minds. He knows because he knows the catalog. My man's Burns Beats did it though, but it was funny. I sent that to Currency, and then I had seen him like a year later. He was like, "Man, you never asked me to be on the joint." I'm like, "Bro, check your text." And he was like, "Oh, my bad." Like but Currency is dope. B.O.B. was dope. The industry messed them up. Everyone pressed the like button. Are you voting for Biden? Oh my God. Uh yeah, most likely. I don't like our choices. I can't vote for Trump. And I do believe that not voting is a vote. But I don't really want to get into politics. I'm not the political guy, but just from an everyday perspective, I think I wish the Democrats would give us a better option. Um, but that whole Project 2025 thing scares me. I thought the debate Biden was off. I'm most likely voting for Biden. So there's that. What's your top five? Jay-Z, Nas, Big, Pac, um, Scarface, but it might be Kendrick now. Okay, we answered this question. Big Crit and Absol are so underrated. I mean, they're super dope. With yesterday being the 28th anniversary of It Was Written, I just want to ask, are you more a fan of that album or his debut album, Illmatic? That's a good question. I like them both. They're both classics, man. Illmatic just reminds me of a time. Illmatic just takes me back to a time. So it's always going to be Illmatic for me, but It Was Written was right there. It Was Written was a special album. I think if Nas would have put out a second Illmatic, if he would have put out an album just like Illmatic the second time out, I don't think he'll have the career that he has now. So there's that. Let me get to some of these super chats. Top 3 whole verses. Oh my god. Jigga what? Jigga who? Maybe. You know when he's like, I got a condo with nothing but condoms in it, same place where the rhymes have been. So imagine if I said no. So all I do is rapid sex. Imagine I stroke. See how it's flowing on my last cassette, rapid fire like I'm blasting the tech, never jam though, never get high, never run out of ammo. Like I think that verse is crazy. Definitely the dead president verse. Damn, that's hard. That's tough. I think that God did verse is creeping up there for me, dog. I don't know. That's tough. I never thought about that. But Jigga What Jigga Who was up there for me. Oh, Do It Again. Got a little dough. That's cool with me. Got a little cars, little jewelries. That's tough, man. Jigga What Jigga Who, Do It Again, and something off of Dead Presidents. Are you accepting interns with your platform? Not yet. I'm sorry. It's tough for me with interns because I'm still trying to figure it out myself, and I don't want to be responsible for nobody's career until I figure out what I'm doing. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But no interns just yet. I still got a lot to figure out. Why do you think Lupe isn't in everyone's top 5? Was the disconnect? Not sure why I stopped listening myself. Because it's subjective. Top 5 is subjective. Nobody is in everyone's top 5. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. Where's the disconnect? I think Lupe just doesn't make music for the masses, and I think by choice. So Big for example is in my top 5. Big is in a lot of people's top 5. Big is a rapper's rapper, but Big made music for the masses. When Big writes a verse, like it's complex and easy to get at the same time. Like I could hear Big verse like when Big was dropping records when he was alive. By like the second or third time I heard the song, I felt like I knew the whole verse already. Like I could recite it with him. And he's rhyming complex shit, but it's so easy and digestible to get. I just think the disconnect is I don't think Lupe is trying to be in everybody's top five. I think Lupe wants to be regarded as the best lyricist, as the best, the most masterful, a technician, like very tactful. And so that's not gonna hit not everybody is a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so there's that. Let's say is Drake the end? I'm gonna scroll down a little bit because I feel like if you ask the question, just ask it again. If it in the live part, um, Jigga what and God did verse. Yeah, that God did verse. You know what it is for me? What's so impressive about that God did verse, and it's not recency bias, but yo, the whole verse he's talking about the drugs he sold. He's talking about OG1. He's talking about everything that they've overcome and how far they made it. It's just ill to me. You know what I'm saying? PSA is up there. PSA is up there too. Um, it's tough. The top three Gigaverse thing is tough. Suppose Not Like Us did not drop before the Heart Part 6, which you judge the Heart Part 6 differently. I feel like people slept on that record just because Not Like Us became a moment too quickly. I mean, the tone to Heart Part 6 was just different. Yeah, especially Not Like Us. Like Not Like Us was this rambunctious, energetic record, and Heart Part 6 was like more of a somber, reflective record. And Drake bowed out. Like it had to come after Not Like Us because it was a response to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that Drake is saying, like Drake bowed out. I wasn't mad at the Heart Part 6. I thought there was honesty for Drake in that record. But yeah, it was just like Kendrick turned up the temperature already, and Drake kind of snuck out the back door with that one. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. With Kendrick showing how versatile he was in this battle with his style, do you think more conscious rap will be accepted by the audience? That's up to y'all. I mean, but Kendrick is conscious rap, right? For sure, right? But Kendrick is a hit maker. Like Not Like Us is a hit. Not Like Us is designed not to be an underground rap record. Not Like Us is catchy on purpose. So no, I don't think it changes anything. I think that I think it changes stuff for Kendrick. I don't think the landscape of hip hop changes. I think the name of the game is still make hits, still make catchy records if you want to catch the masses. I don't think the audience, I don't think the mass audience is necessarily fans of rap, the technical aspect of rap. I think we're a very niche audience. You know what I'm saying? That's why the best rappers often aren't the top guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rap City. You know what I'm saying? Like, ill technician, ill, but she doesn't get the light that a Sweetie gets or a Nicki gets or a Doja gets. And Doja can rap too. It's not saying that those girls can't rap. Also, Nicki is a hell of a rapper. Doja is an incredible rapper. Um, but I I just don't think the masses want that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I don't think Not Like Us changes that. Okay, let's go back. Can the West Coast capitalize off the K Dot victory and hold the culture torch? If so, which artist should lead? Yeah, that now that's on them. Now Kendrick, that Not Like Us, that set up a hell of a moment, didn't it? That was an incredible moment. Now who's gonna take the reins? Like you know who's gonna take it to another level now after being on that stage? I think Rowdy is in prime position. I think Blast can do it, and Bino Rideau. Um, those are the top guys that come to mind right now out of the West Coast. Um, let's see. Do you think the beef with Drake has gone to dangerous levels with the recent Rose? Nah, it's all right. Everybody lived to see another day, which is great. You know what I'm saying? So, um, some classic records on the wall behind you. Do you have a story behind them? Love from Scotland. What up, Scotland? Yeah. So the Mac Miller plaque, that's for Knock Knock. I was covering Mac early in his career. I met Mac right after he graduated high school, right as he was dropping kids. So, and I was at Double XL at the time, so I was putting them on the website and the magazine. So, um, and Mac and Rostrum gifted me that plaque to support him, for supporting him. So that was like my support for Mac, and Mac was a friend of mine, a brother. Really, we had a really cool friendship, and I miss him. And then Ice Spice on the other side, I was a part of helping her, um, part of putting that deal together for Munch for her first single came through my company and my group. So we had signed her to a single deal and put out Munch and put out Bikini Bottom, and she killed it. She just flourished, and now she's over at Capital 10K. But that plaque is actually a result. The Mac Miller one was a gift for supporting him. The Munch record was actually something that I helped work and help be a part of. Rob, have you ever snuffed the rapper? Yo, nah, non-violent, non-violent. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I can't tell you the last time I had a fight, man. It was high school, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I never snuffed the rapper. Um, how have you managed to stay so objective in the industry? You know all these artists, but you never seem to show a strong bias towards any particular rapper. Uh, two things. I'm a fan. Before I got into the industry, I was the guy like on my block, out of my friend group, out of whoever. I had the most CDs. I always had the biggest music collection. I would buy big and I would buy pop because I like both. I'm just a fan of the music. And I try to apply that to just being in my career. I can't pick a side. Like I could like both. You know what I'm saying? Um Sometimes I've been accused of bias before, but I try to curb it. I try to be fair. For me, it's just being fair, man. Like, and we could say things again, going back to Kendrick and Drake. Like, we could sit here and say, "Yo, Kendrick won," and I could tell you where Drake made mistakes at or whatever, right? At least from my perspective. But I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that Drake is garbage because I don't believe it because I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't say it. Like I bought, like literally when we used to buy CDs, like I bought Thank Me Later, I bought Take Care, I bought Nothing Was the Same, like the CD version. Like I bought concert tickets. So I'm a fan, so I'm not gonna stop being a fan. There's certain rappers that are near and dear to me maybe as you meet them as friends, but I still try to keep it biased. Like Mac was a friend of mine. Like, I got a couple rappers who are a friend of mine. Wale is a friend of mine. Like I love Wale. I care about him. Me and Pusha are cool, but at the end of the day, the most important relationship in this whole thing is the relationship with the audience. So if y'all feel like y'all can't trust me, if I'm out here looking compromised, right? And y'all feel like y'all can't trust me, then my career suffers. You know what I'm saying? So really the short answer is I gotta focus on the most important relationship, and that's the relationship with y'all. Do you ever think about coming out with your own comic book after taking part in Marvel Voices? Yeah, yeah. I have a script that I'm working on. My dream, I have a script and a story that I'm working on, and that's one of my goals for this year. Like, I'm just gonna write like 6 issues of this book, whether somebody picks it up or not. My dream is to put out a comic book with Image Comics. I've been a fan of Image Comics since they started. So put out something with Image, and it'll be my own story. So yes, I think I will come out with my own comic book at a certain point. Absolutely. Are you a vegan? No, I'm not. But I recently cut out carbs. If that, you know what I'm saying. I'm actually more focused on my diet than ever. So I'm cut out carbs and sugar. I'm still a meat eater. Pause. But nah, I'm not a vegan. How do you feel about Lil Sims? What up, Devious? I don't listen to enough Lil Sims to have an opinion. I mean, she could rap for sure. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get back to me on that. You got my number, so we could talk about it. Send me some Lil Sims songs that I should listen to. Um, they say all Kendrick does is create moments, so why would Drake risk him making a moment out of him? That's basically what he did, and people were surprised. Each track was a moment for sure. Rap City doesn't show skin. Nah, she just chooses not to, which is, what I'm saying. But you know what I hate is when people be like, oh, because rap's about sex. Like she's rapped about sex, like she's human, like you know what I'm saying. but it's just in a different way that we're used to hearing from most of these female rappers out here. Rap just presents herself in a different way, and that's cool. Do you think the previous generation of rappers glorifying hustling are somewhat responsible for this gen's issues with addiction? Yeah, I think it's a worldwide. I think rap is a reflection of what's going on in society anyway. So I think it's a societal problem. Um, I I I don't think the glorification of hustling helps, but rappers didn't bring the drugs here. Like I think we've had drug issues before rap, and we continue to have it, but I don't think it helps. Um, yes, please make sure to like this video. Your opinion on YG? Uh, I think YG is cemented already. Like I want to see where he goes to take his career to the next level. It kind of feels like maybe he plateaued or he peaked, and I wonder if there's another level that YG can go. But if YG stops here, he's cemented. You know what I'm saying? But I am looking for this next joint. It's like, yo, is there another level that YG could take it? You look at artists like Kendrick reinvents himself almost with every release, right? Um, Kanye reinvents himself with every release. We've seen the growth of Jay-Z through the years. Um, and then there's some artists who just give us what we know them for and what we love. Like Rick Ross. Like Rick Ross has essentially been the same character, and he just gives us more of what we love over and over again. Um, I put YG more in that category, somebody who showed us who he is and just keeps giving us what he loves. But I'd like to see if there's I think there's other sides to YG. Like even when he did fuck Donald Trump, I think that was like, we didn't think YG had it in him like that to maybe have a political record like that. So I'm waiting to see like more evolution of YG. Germ told me that story. Which one? Independence. Um, do you speak to Kendrick regularly? Nah, I haven't spoken to Kendrick in years. Like one probably since 2017, 2018. I don't think a lot of people speak to Kendrick very regularly. But yeah, we used to speak, text back and forth a lot, a lot, a lot. And then at one point I think his number changed and I just never got the new number. I haven't spoken to him since. But um shout out to Kendrick. Glasses confirmed Kendrick rap from Drake's perspective. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess did Kendrick say it? Is Glasses speculating, or does Glasses did Kendrick tell Glasses? Like only Kendrick really knows. But if Glasses said it and he knows that for a fact, then that's what it is. Um, what's your favorite year XXL lineup? Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. I think this one. I think I worked on this, so I'm biased, but I think it's this one is I mean, Nip, rest in peace, J. Cole, Big Sean, Freddie Gibbs, Wiz. If it isn't that, then it's this one. It is like 1A and 1B for me with Kendrick, rest in peace, Mac Miller, rest in peace, Fred the Godson, Sci is a beast, Meek is a beast. YG was on this cover. Lil B, that was crazy. Um, so it's between those two covers. Let me go. Let me get back into the super chat. Swift Dreamer says, much love, Rob. Just joining. How do you feel about the recent scuffle at Rick Ross Canada show? Do you think that is true that Drake sent the biker gang after him? Have you heard anything behind the scenes? I haven't heard anything behind the scenes. I don't think that those guys were OVO. I don't think that Drake was necessarily behind that. You gotta think too, that was in Vancouver, and that's not to say Drake doesn't have connections in Vancouver, but Vancouver is like if you're in the US and you look at it from a US perspective, it's like on the West Coast and Toronto's on the East Coast. Like it's almost like New York and Cali. Like there's a distance between Vancouver and Toronto. The way that I understand it. If somebody's from Canada, please correct me. So I haven't heard anything behind the scenes. I don't think that is true that Drake sent that gang after him. But look, man, when you go into Vancouver, like you just can't sleep on any city that you're in. For them to play Not Like Us And that's what I heard was that the beef was like Ross was playing Not Like Us, and then Temper started to flare. Like you just can't go into people's city and play around. Or if you do, you got to be prepared. Ross's security had a hard time out there. I just question why they weren't moving more militant and more just, what I'm saying, focused. I saw my man Sam Sneak involved. Sam Sneak is a good dude. I think they were just caught in a bad situation, but I'm glad to see that everybody lived to see another day, man, and that everybody is all right. It didn't seem like that big of a deal, but I don't think Drake had anything to do with it. Let's see. What's this one? I highly value your opinion on music and will be honored if you offer your time and constructive criticism on 3 songs. Do you have a biz email? 3 songs is a lot, my brother. Man, I got so much shit to listen to. It's a lot. I tell people this: 1 song, because you got to think about yourself as a fan, right? And when you ask people to do, and there's just good advice. Let's say Big, right? Ready to Die, classic album. You had to hear Juicy first and like it. Nobody went into Ready to Die sight unseen and said, "Oh, I'm gonna listen to this and determine." No, artists release a single before the album drop. Oh, okay, I like the single, or I like this mixtape, or I liked it. Like you hear something, like you got to give me something that's gonna make me a fan. Like 3 songs, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot to listen to. But you could send something to write to dreambiz@gmail.com, right? WRITETODREAMBIZ, right to dreambiz@gmail.com. Send your best song, and I can do that for you. Xavier, big up to you for keeping the perspective of hip hop, not gossip. What verses or songs stand out from you from Drake, Dot, Cole, Wale, Sean, random one? I'm from the West. Why there's no talk about Quick and Above the Law? I'm not gonna lie, and DJ Quick is amazing. I got onto Quick late. Like I just didn't hear a lot of Quick and Above the Law growing up. It was a lot of NWA, it was a lot of Dr. Dre. It's not nothing against Quick at all. It just hadn't hit me. I had to like go back later in life. I think the first Quick thing that like Rhythmalism was like the first album that I really tapped into from Quick, and then I had to go back from there. Um Favorite verses or songs stand out to you from for Dot. Spiteful Chant is up there, Cartoon and Serials is up there. Um Mad City is up there. Uh from Wale, Ambition. I love that record. They gonna love me for my ambition. I love that record. Um, for Drake, some of my favorite Drake songs. Western Road Flows. I love that record. What's the record on what's the record on see now it was on Views and it sampled Michael McLaren is bugging me right now. Feel No Ways is up there for me as well. Sean, what's a fire Sean song that I gotta come back to you with Sean. You put me on the spot, but I think all these guys are great. Let's see. I think that's it, right? All right, we're gonna go back into the regular chat. Um, when's the last time you spoke to Kendrick? I answered that already. Been a couple years, maybe 2017, 2018. Do you plan to write a book? If so, about what? One day I'll write a book for sure. For sure. Let's see. About what? I mean, just probably about my life, my journey, some hip hop, some behind the scenes stuff. Do you think Benny the Butcher has some verses tucked for Kendrick since he was with J. Cole, Dreamville Fest? No, I don't think Benny gets involved in that. That's not his beef. I don't think at all. Like I don't know, but I don't think that Benny gets involved in that at all. St. Pat's Beats, man. Shout out to St. Pat Beats. When are you dropping new music? Soon, man. I'm gonna go back in, man. I'm gonna tap in with Drew, man. I got something coming soon. Definitely this year. Absolutely, bro. Um, let's see. Do you think NY could develop a different sound aside from drill? Can the audience be more attached to lyrical bops? As an NY artist, I want the era of new Biggie's, Hove, Nas, Wu Tang, Big Puns. Yeah, I think we're past that era. I don't think that sound. I think it might come back like for some nostalgia stuff, but hip hop has to evolve. Like the '90s are the '90s, so I don't think we're going back. A lot of people talk about like bringing New York back. Like each city is defined by sound, so it's usually the producer that brings. When Atlanta is run, like Mike Will made it, like Sunny Digital, Metro, even though Metro is technically for St. Louis, like that Atlanta sound. When you think about the West, you think about Mustard. When you think about 90s hip hop, yeah, it's all those artists that you talked about, but it's also RZA, Havoc, Q-Tip, Premier, and Pete Rock. When you get into the 2000s, it's Swiss Beats in New York. Like, so it is about the sound. I think NY can develop a different sound aside from drill. I think that Jersey club sound is big out here, and technically that's Jersey, but it's still the New York area. I think the Jersey club sound is big, but I don't think we're gonna go back to that era of Biggie, Hove, Nas, and Wu Tang. Um, Kendrick said Drake don't have no classic albums. What do you think Drake's classic album is? I think Drake got a couple. I mean, So Far Gone is technically a mixtape, but if we're counting So Far Gone is a classic. I think Take Care is a classic. I think Nothing Was the Same was a classic. Um, I honestly think Quentin Miller started helping Drake in 2013 was started from the bottom and Versace. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I just know the stuff that Quentin was credited on and from the that he was credited on and from the references that I heard. What do you think Kendrick and Drake's relationship went bad? It seemed like they were close to being cool again when Drake went to the Mr. Morale tour and was shouting out Baby Keem. I don't know. I'm not sure what the root of it is, but I know it's been stemming since 2013. But I can't say where it went bad at. And maybe he was just on Mr. Morale's tour just to see Keem. I know Drake and Keem are cool. I think I just don't. I think Kendrick just don't like him. What he said, man. I'm the biggest hater. Taylor Alderdice, is there a full interview you and Wiz did in footage? There is a full interview. Wiz has that interview. Probably ID Labs, probably Edan from ID Labs has the interview. I think Edan has it. And there was a camera. There was some footage that day of Juicy J and Wiz in the studio. I was there, so they were definitely filming Wiz's vlog. I don't know if they filmed the whole interview, but there's definitely an audio recording of the whole interview. I don't think you'll ever hear it though. Let's see. What do you think about Ebro saying label execs want to deprioritize? Hold on, let me just get back in here. Okay, yeah. What do you think about Ebro saying label execs wants to deprioritize hip hop in favor of pushing Latin and Afro beats? How does hip hop culture continue to stay competitive against other genres? I think hip hop has to be authentic. I think we have to say something. I think we have to stop being followers in terms of our music and our sound. I think we got to stand for something. I think we got to create these records with intention. I think that's how you stay on top. Hip hop started really as rebel music. Hip hop was the music that your parents didn't want to listen to. They didn't want you to listen to. Hip hop was, you know, they on the news, like everybody was like finger waving. The politicians were boycotting. Like hip hop was that. Like it was youth music. It was anti. Hip hop was not afraid to say the things that needed to be said. And I do think we got a little rich and we got a little comfortable. So I think we just got to continue to stay rebel music. Um, as a fan, I think Drake needs a break, like when Jay-Z fake retired and came back. Too much hate for him right now, even before the battle. Yeah, that might be good, man. He said he was gonna take a break right after for all the dogs. He said something he had like stomach issues or health issues. Like he had said that like in the Apple liner notes. So hopefully he took care of that, man. But yeah, man, a break is cool. That run is unprecedented. Where do you think Drake's career goes from here? That's a good question, man. I don't know. I see a lot of people counting more. I see a lot of people talking. I had said this before, like Drake. isn't one of those ones. I see a lot of people like, oh, we never liked them. And that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Like we never liked Drake. Now we absolutely fuck with Drake. Like we fucked with his music. Like his music defined an era. Like I don't care who you like. Anybody who says that is just wrong. Um, I don't know where it goes from here though. It could cool off though. It could. I don't know. I can't call it. I think his next couple of moves is crucial. I think it's up to Drake. I think how he handles it. You know. But I think he cools off a bit. I do think he's not like in that white hot space anymore. I think he cools off a bit, and then I think you bounce back from that. You come back from that. I think he'll be fine, but we'll see, man. Um, Name a rapper you didn't like at first, but now enjoy their music, and vice versa. That's a good question. Who's a rapper that I didn't like at first, but now I enjoy their music? Um, hmm. Who's a rapper that I didn't like at first? And then vice versa. Somebody who I enjoyed their music and then I'm not as big as a fan of right now. Fuck. I'm just looking at these freshman covers, but I don't even know if this is a good indication. Um, I don't know. Probably the man. This is tough too, man, because y'all know I don't speak negative about anybody. Uh I think Jim Jones. Jim Jones was a rapper that I didn't like love at first. Like like when he first dropped, like certified gangster, and like I wasn't, and then I grew to love Jim Jones music. Um and then a rapper who I like their music and I don't listen now, like maybe Game. Game with somebody out the gate. Like I'm like, oh, this is crazy, and then I just don't. I haven't really connected with. But I don't know. Game is not really making music. I don't know if that. Those are the two things that come off my head, off the top of my head. I hope that helped. Let's go. Hold on. We got some more in the super chat. Okay, boom. What's a Kendrick collab you'd like to see on his next album? Wale legendary verse. I wanted to see the Kendrick Drake collab, but that's not happening. I really wanted to see that. Who would I like to see Kendrick collab with? I'd like to see Kendrick and JID do a record together. I don't think that's going to be on Kendrick's album though. If that happens, that happens on the JID project. But I'd like to see Kendrick and JID on a record. Wale versus Legendary. Yeah, man. Wale is one of those ones. Whole freestyle on Fest Flex Most Kings verse with Pecas and Champagne was such a moment for me. Anything for you, Hov Stan. Uh Summer Jam when he first did Takeover, acapella when he did the Nas X Nas, he don't want to go. Oh no. Um, he was on the tour too, and this is just a person. It wasn't a big moment, but he was on tour. He was on the Sprite Liquid Mix tour. It was Jay, it was Clips, it was NERD. I think Talib Kweli was on that tour, or Reflection Eternal. Maybe it was both him and High Tech. And this is before Blueprint 2. And Jay kicked I thought it was the illest shit. He kicked the intro from Blueprint 2. Had a dream I said about who he said, about Biggie said, that's Biggie said. Like he did that whole shit acapella, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. And this is before like really social media and before everybody had a camera. And I thought that verse was ill. That's like a personal favorite for me. Also, his Reasonable Doubt 10-year anniversary concert, and when he did the 44 Force freestyle, that was big too. Making and releasing music is becoming more and more accessible each day. AI is even a major concern for many artists. Do you think technology will ever evolve to the point that new legends will cease to exist? Yeah, man. I think the AI is dangerous. I think we're in a dangerous situation. Look, these labels are run by boards, and I think the name of the game is to maximize profits over anything. So if they could figure out a way to make music without having to pay artists, without having to pay songwriters, without having to pay producers, I think somebody gonna try it, and I think it's dangerous. I think I'm afraid. Look, and this is not against AI. Like I think AI is a great technology, like, but there are enough artists out here. There are enough people trying to make music and enough. Like I don't need AI to make art. We have enough art. Like use AI to solve cancer. Like what do the probabilities, right, of how we can solve cancer. Like use AI to figure out global warming. Use AI. Use that tool to figure out how to make the world better. We don't need to make art more cheaply. Art is actually cheap enough as it is. Like we you realize on streaming services we don't buy anything. Like we're paying, like how much are these songs actually worth? Think about if you're streaming, you're paying $10 a month. I mean, $12 now, $13, whatever it is, and you can stream every song, but you actually don't own those songs. So, like, how much is a song actually worth? It's cheaper now than ever. We do not need to make it more cheaper. I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but I think the AI is dangerous. And I don't think we need it in the music. Like, it's a tool. Like, you know what AI would be a good tool for in the music? Like, Gunna, right? Fuck you mean. I'm somebody who when I drive around, I still do listen to radio. And it used to kill me that fuck you mean by Gunna didn't have a radio edit. Because you could easily just go back in the studio and you could change fuck you mean to what you mean. And you could hear it on the radio without hearing the blank spots, right? But I get it now. Artists, Gunna's not gonna go back in the studio and cut a whole radio edit. In the '90s, artists used to do that. Gunna's not gonna do that. You could use AI to hey, go in there and make a radio edit of Gunna's "fuck you mean" to "what you mean," and that's fine. Like as a tool, it is fine. You know what I'm saying? As like a tool to help music along the way. But this thing that I mean, just creating songs from the ground up and replacing artists. There's enough artists in this world. We don't need to replace artists. So I think it's dangerous. All right. Is it hard to be critical of the artist the more connected you are in the industry? It can be. It can be. Look, man, I'm just not also a mean person. You know what my main thing is? And it's not. Look, I came into the game writing album reviews. Like Sean, who is somebody who I knew personally. Like Sean dropped that album, The Godfather Buried Alive, and I rated it like 2 mics in the source. It never ran. The source was like, "We can't run this." I just didn't like that album, and I know Sean personally, and I've told Sean this. He'd never seen the review. It never ran. You could be critical without being mean. I'm just not a mean person, like in general, and I'm generally a fan of a lot of shit. And the other part of it is that I'm an artist myself. So I know how much work it goes in to create a song out of an idea that you have in your head and then lay it down and it becomes this tangible thing. And for the world to like eat it up or shit on it. So it could be hard to be critical, but I don't find difficulty being critical. Um, but I'm never gonna be mean, if that makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I hope that answered your question. Uh, we've seen some of these already. What's your favorite underrated rapper? For me, it's Cam, Luda, or Twista. Oh, for me, it's different. For me, it's probably another moment. Somebody asked me about moments. I went to that Nas concert after Godson, the one you see it online sometimes when he performed "Made You Look" and Luda came out and Kiss came out, and I was in the crowd for that. That was a crazy moment. But my favorite underrated rapper to me is probably a guy named Tragedy Gaddafi. Um, you know that's super underrated. Royal Flush is another one. I mean, these guys made terrific albums that I still listen to this day for inspiration. But those are two of my favorite. Royal Flush. Mike Geronimo is another one really underrated. These are like '90s rappers that I still go back and listen to for influence. Um, Oh man, my man, Mr. North, man. Rob, you're correct. Vancouver's the West Coast next to Seattle and Portland. Toronto's the East Coast next to New York State. It's Canada's finest dynamics, man. What up, brother? Damn, I'm getting to this late. Um, but yeah, we gotta go through this. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Is Schoolboy Q underrated? Depends on who's doing the rating. Blue Lips is my favorite album this year. So say with that what you will. Right now, like Blue Lips is the album to beat for me. Urine 101. Yo, I love that fucking record. That shit is so crazy. Um, Where's Wale? You know what? I gotta check in on Wale. He's chilling though. Last I spoke to him, he's doing all right, man. That's a good question. Tragedy Gaddafi from the Outlaws. No, Tragedy. There was a Gaddafi from the Outlaws, but Tragedy is a rapper from Queensbridge. He's from the same project that Nas is from. He used to go by the name the Intelligent Hoodlum. And in the 90s, he changed his name to Tragedy Gaddafi, and he dropped an album called Thug Matrix, which is amazing to me. He has a song called True Confessions. If you look up Tragedy Gaddafi, True Confessions, Tragedy also was the guy who mentored. He taught Nori how to rap. So these are 90s Queens guys. Drake beat Meek, but Meek permanently stained him with the ghostwriting. Push stained him. Now Dot got people going down the rabbit hole about his preferences. Next person will go further. It's not worth it. Yeah, I guess. But look, man, it's easy. Drake is also the top guy, so there's a bunch of people with a bunch of things to say about him. Like he's an easy target because. But yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't even see Drake staying them, Meek staying them with the ghostwriting. I think having writers is a choice that Drake made himself. And if it wasn't Meek, somebody else was gonna expose that. So that's a decision that Drake made. Yeah, in terms of Dot exposing his preferences, again, I've always said this. Man, to call somebody a pedophile is crazy. I get it for a rap song. For a rap song, I get it, man. You're gonna say whatever, like there's a rap battle. But I don't buy into all of that. Like I'm not looking now. If it comes out and some shit comes out that we can't ignore, then that's what it is, and he deserves what he gets. But I'm not putting like that's a nasty thing to put on somebody. Like I don't believe that that's true just because Kendrick said it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of implications that come with that. That's worse than the ghostwriting thing. You know what I'm saying? Favorite Tupac album, Me Against the World, and Machiavelli, the first Machiavelli album, 1A and 1B. What's your best advice for writing more solid records? I've been listening to all your music, big fan. That means a lot, man. Look, I I ain't gonna lie, like I don't sit here, I don't brag about my music a lot. Like that's just not who I am. But I know what I put into it. Um, I know I got certain things that I'm like crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really feel like that and I have that confidence. So for you to say that you've been listening to it, that means the world to me. I think it's not for everybody to get, it's for a select few to get, and that's fine. Um, Best advice for writing more solid records though. Write your truth, man. I and I've been writing for years and years and years, and but when I finally hit my stride, and the thing that came easiest to me when I was just writing about the things in my life that was in front of me, like in a very real way, and just being honest. And it came to the point where more than anything, the music for me personally is like therapy. So write your truth. I think it's just easier to write the truth than to write what you think people want to hear. I always found it harder when I was young and I was trying to like write the club record because you're supposed to have a club record, or write this record because you like, even if I wasn't feeling it at that time. So just write your truth, man. And then I believe that the people who feel like you will rally around you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll find your audience. But that's a dope question. Good luck on your journey. Repping Silicon Valley. What's up, Xavier? Damn, your son still ain't get to play FIFA, man. Repping Silicon Valley, but to keep it on Queens, what happened to A plus? Urban Wolves production was crazy. I think A plus. You're talking about the kid rapper A plus, right? I think A plus was from Long Island. Actually, he was dope. He was super dope. But it's hard to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're a kid, I don't know what happened to A plus though. You know what I'm saying? Do you see hip hop as only belonging to Americans, or do you see it as global? Almost every country in the world has its own hip hop scene. People use Drake not being American against him. Nah, hip hop is global, man. Like, sure, it started in America, um, but it's art, man. Once you create some art and it goes out into the world, like yes, it's ours, but it belongs to the world as well. So people will have their different takes on it. Um, I think hip hop is global, and we benefit from that here. We benefit, our artists benefit being able to go on tour globally. Like, we can't go tour in your country and then say nah, but and then when we inspire, when an American artist inspires you, be like, nah, you can't rap. Like, nah, we put it out there. Like, we inspired you. You know what I'm saying? So, um, nah, I don't think it solely belongs to America. I think it is global. um People use Drake not being American against them. Yeah, I think it was that, but I think it was also, I think in Kendrick's case, he was questioning more so his culture. Because there's plenty of people from Canada that are hip hop. And I think Drake is hip hop. I've said this before, but I think he was questioning like his culture and his intention, you know. So we'll see. Um who had the best verse on Tres Leche? Prodigy, Pun, or Deck. I think Prodigy smokes it. I think it's Prodigy, man. Rest in peace to P. Rest in peace to Prodigy. As a true underground artist should focus on building a fan base outside of their hometown. Um, I think you should build a fan base wherever you can find it, man. Fans are the most valuable thing. Same thing with y'all with the audience, right? Like this is what I'm doing. Like I'm building a fan base is weird for this, but I'm building an audience. I'm building a community with y'all. Like you gotta think about it about building community. Definitely you want to look into your hometown, right? Like that makes it easier. But the internet is a vast space, so you can meet people from all over. Just go where people appreciate you. You should just focus on building a fan base. If you could build one in your hometown, build the biggest fan base you can in your hometown, and then branch out. Eventually you're gonna have to branch out and you're gonna need fans from all over, but just build your audience wherever they're at. What albums are you anticipating most this year? Kendrick, Cole, The Fall Off, um Pusha, the Clips album. That Clips album. Do you prefer YouTube link or song file with submission for constructive criticism? Nah, you gotta send me a link to something. I also look. It's hard for me to listen to submissions, man. I'm listening to a lot, but one of the things that's a pet peeve of mine is if you're an unknown artist and a underground artist, put your music out. Don't send me unreleased stuff. Unless we're talking about doing a deal or something like that. I do distro, but put the record out. Like put I want to hear stuff that's already out because there's been too many times where I've had artists send me records and ask for my critique and ask for this and ask for that, and they never put the record out and they never put anything out. I feel like artists sometimes get in their own way by holding on to records and never putting records out. Put your records out, man, for sure. So yeah, definitely send me a link. Honestly, why do you think West Coast music only bubbles in the West Coast? But that's not true. Like did Roddy Rich, like every scene is gonna have local artists. You know what I'm saying? There's some New York artists who just only kind of get played or loved locally in New York. There's some, so I don't think that's true for the West Coast, but the West Coast has a sound that's very true to them, and sometimes doesn't make sense everywhere. That there's some Atlanta artists like that too. There's definitely New York artists who I never hear outside of New York, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But um, I don't think West Coast music only bubbles in the West. I think, look, man, I think um Blast. I think Roddy Rich, um, YG crossed over in his day, but if we're just talking about new artists like Blast and Roddy Rich are two of the ones to me that feel like they transcend. How you been doing, bro? I've been doing good. I've been doing great. How are you? Um, Hold on real quick. Uh let's see. Favorite Mac Miller verse and song. Verse, I gotta get back to you. Song. Self-care is up there. Um Self-care is up there. God is Fair, the joint with him and Kendrick, but maybe but that's special to me too because the day after he recorded that, he called me and was like, "Yo, come to the crib. I just did a song with Kendrick last night. I got to play it for you." So I remember just listening to that over and over with him. But Self Care is up there. God is Fair is up there. Um, uh, damn, I remember Donald Trump. I remember hearing Donald Trump before he put it out. Um, Best Day Ever was my shit. Yeah, that's some of them. I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about Mac. You got to forgive me. If you could do a collab with any artist, who would it be and who would produce it? I'm off collabs, bro. Man, this St. Pat Beats. We definitely did a bunch of records together. Um, Man, it'd be so like, you know what I hate, Pat? Artists come to me. You know me, bro. We spoke about this. It's so hard for me to ask for anybody to collab. I've had artists come to me and say, "Yo, we got to do a joint," and I'm like, "Bet, okay, I got something," and then it just be like ghost town. Like, it be like, damn, like you came to me, like you offered, you was like, "Yo, we gotta do a joint." I agree. Um, I tell one. This is not to answer your question, but some people don't know. Me and Designer have a beat. Me and Designer have a record that never came out. And it's over. I think Murder did the beat. It never came out and never will. This was years ago. But if you could do a collab with any artist, who would it be with and who would produce it? I mean, Jay is the obvious and easy answer. But I don't want to go there. I don't know, man. I would do something with Kiss. Kiss would be dope. Me and Kiss over a Justice League beat. Put that in the air. There you go. What would you do if you were Drake right now? I will put out the most honest record I can find. I would just be honest. I would just be honest. It ain't about bravado right now. I'll just be honest. I would stop the online trolling. I would accept the L. I was just like, hey man, it was a good battle. He won. You know what I'm saying? We put out some great records. Let me get back to being Drake. That's what I would do. Top 5 rappers per decade. Oh my god, man. That's 20 rappers. I don't know. Um in the 90s, Jay, Big, Nas, Scarface, Pac. Uh in the 2000s, I don't know. 50 is up there. Um Pusha is up there. Uh that's tough. I don't know. In the 2010s, I would say Kendrick, Drake, Cole, Wale, um, Mac. In the 20s, I don't know. It's hard for me to do. In the 20s, I don't know. I got to get back to you. I never. Damn, I want to answer your question. I just don't think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's even a 20s rapper? Like who's come out since 2020? I don't know, bro. That's the best I could give you right now. I'm sorry, MW. Um, right? Griselda is before the 20s. Trying to think of who came out in the 20s. Me. I'm my favorite rapper of the 20s. uh, Quick question. I'm gonna log off soon too, man. We've been at this almost 2 hours. This is crazy, but y'all been amazing. Someone may have asked already, but how did you get into hip hop journalism? Um, yeah. So an old friend of mine that I went to high school with and I went to college with, graduated a year before me in college. His name is Tim Hotep, and he got to Complex Magazine, and he gave me my first assignment. He knew that I knew a lot about hip hop. He knew I could write really well, so he assigned me a Jadakiss album review and a T.J. Moses album review, and I did that. And then after that, I got something in the Source. Then I got something in Vibe. Then I got something in Double XL. Then I did Don Diva. I was writing for the New York Post, and I just started getting more and more freelance work until I got my first job at Scratch Magazine, and my first full time job. And then I got a job at Double XL, MTV News, and then Genius. That's the short story. Where's Hitman from Dr. Dre's? I don't know. He carried that project, but nah, Hitman was crazy. I don't know where the album is though. Would you take dinner with Hove or 500K? I'm taking the 500K, dog. You crazy? I'm taking the money, man. Shout out to Jay. I've been in Jay's presence, but at this point, I could do more with the money. Give me the 500. Is that before or after taxes? Either way, I'm taking it. Top 3 J albums is Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Black Album. During the 50 Massacre run, how was the scene in NY? Did it force NY rap media to pick a side? How do you guys in media stay neutral during quarrels if everybody from their borough has their guy? Yeah, that's a good question. I wasn't in, I was like just getting in. I guess I was just starting during the Massacre run because that was like 05, right? Um, I didn't pick a side. I was young in the game, so it didn't matter to me. I didn't pick a side, but I remember sitting with 50, like interviewing 50 around that time and telling him I was a Ja Rule fan too. I was a big Ja Rule fan. But I fuck with 50 too. So to me, it wasn't about choosing the side at all. Um, but yeah, how do you guys stay neutral? You got to. The audience is the most important thing. So you just got to tell the story how the story goes. To me, you know what I'm saying? Do you see Bad Bunny as a rapper or a singer? How do you rate his lyricism as rapping in Spanish? Who are the lyrical Spanish rappers? Yeah, I think Bad Benito definitely be rapping. He be singing too. He's kind of like Drake in that way. Like it's kind of like a hybrid. Though I think he does more singing than rapping, but Benito is like a rapper for sure. Yeah, I think his bars are dope. The lyrical Spanish rappers. I don't know. I'm not like I listen to reggaeton here and there, but I'm not well versed in the same way that I am with hip hop. Between Timbaland and Pharrell, who's your favorite producer? Pharrell for sure. Did you used to check out Real Talk New York? Absolutely. A Biggie and Ross song or a Tupac and Kendrick song? Oh man, that's crazy. Biggie and Ross. Oh shit, Nigel, what up? I didn't even look at the name when I said, did you check out Real Talk New York? Absolutely, bro. Come on. Absolutely, man. Like, you know what that was for us. Yeah, the blog era was special, man. You was outside too. Now you just like international. Now you just in different countries, man. Shout out to my man Nigel. No Big Sean, huh? I think that was in my top 5, right? In response to my top 5. Who did I say? Yeah, man. I mean, Sean might be 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? All right. I'm gonna start wrapping this up, man. I'm gonna take 3 more questions, and I'm just gonna like pick them at random. Um, and if our podcast has dropped some first look screenshots from the Not Like Us music video, any chance for your quick thoughts? I don't know. I don't need to see the screenshots. I mean, I seen the behind the scenes shit. Look like a party. I was telling the social team at Genius because we all have the day off tomorrow, it's July 4th. But I'm like, yeah, I think Kendrick probably just gonna drop this video tomorrow. I have no intel, but I just think everybody's gonna be drunk, they're gonna be wasted, and the social team is gonna have to get to work because they're gonna have to post about it. I think it's just gonna come tomorrow. But I have no intel. Don't hold me to that. But it looked like a good time. Let's see. Oh wait, I like this question right here. Did you listen to MF Doom? Yes, absolutely. I bought Doom's first records. Doom used to be on a label called Fondle 'em. That's where Operation Doomsday came out. But before that, um, he had records. He had what did he have? He had Greenbacks, came out as a 12-inch single. The Super record, where they sampled the Scooby Doo. Hey, um, there were a couple of records that he dropped as a 12-inch first, and then he dropped Operation Doomsday. He was on a label called Fondlum. It was owned by Bobito Garcia. If you're from New York, from the 90s era, the Stretch and Bob show was absolutely influential. I absolutely listened to Doom. Operation Doomsday is one of my favorite albums. That's absolutely my favorite Doom album. And I was at the show. Doom performed at the New Eurekans Poet Cafe before he had the metal mask, and he just had a stocking cap over his face. And of course, we knew Doom from before that, from Peach Fuzz, from KMD, and Zev Love X, and Gasface, and all of that. But when he reemerged as Doom, the first performance I saw him at was at New Eurekans Poet Cafe, and it was just a stocking cap over his face. So, rest in peace to MF Doom. What's the greatest lesson you gained from being a journalist? That dreams come true and hard work and passion beats talent. Hard work and passion beats talent, for sure. I wasn't the most talented writer. I wasn't the best writer at all. There's writers so much better than me, especially during that print era. But I was like, man, nobody's gonna outwork me, and so I learned that. Hot take: the Hove the greatest. My favorite Hove album is American Gangster. Thoughts? American Gangster is a special album. I think American Gangster is phenomenal. It's not my favorite whole album, but um, I ain't mad at somebody. I know a couple people who say American Gangster is their favorite Jay-Z album. My question to you is, when did you first listen to Jay-Z? Like, when, like, was that the first album you experienced? I mean, because I remember when Reasonable Doubt dropped. I remember before Doubt dropped, and in my lifetime, and all the singles and shit like that. But American Gangster is a hell of an album. I think it's up there. I think it's towards the top half of Jay's discography for sure. What do you think of Fonte? I believe he's one of the most underrated out here. Absolutely. Fonte is incredible. Fonte is fucking incredible. I could go for another Little Brother album. Their last album, Made the Lord Watch. That was the name of the album, right? Their last album, though, boy, that got me through, man. That was such a great album, man. I remember Little Brother came to Genius, and y'all gotta understand, like, I'm out here rapping, I'm doing my thing. I know where I'm at. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I put out. I have self-belief, but I'm not out here. Again, I'm not out here beating my chest, right? And I had never met Fonte before. I had never met Pooh before either, and they came to Genius. But we would interact on Twitter. They knew who I was. Of course, I knew who they was. So we've exchanged tweets before and all of that. But I had never met them before. And so we're going to do Verified. I'm doing the interview. I'm about to break down their lyrics. And Fonte has said something to me to the effect of, "Yeah, man, you one of them ones. Your shit is ill." And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't need necessarily the validation, but coming from somebody like Fonte, who was so and complimented me on my rapping, that shit meant the most. I think Fonte is fucking incredible, bro. And Fonte is an inspiration for me. I'm 44 years old, so, and I still do my music, and he's an inspiration for me about the way that you age in this gracefully as an artist, the things that you could rap about. I think they're fucking amazing, man. So yeah, shout out to Fonte, man. I love the Q&A, Rob. It would be dope to do it once every blue moon. Absolutely. I'm gonna, maybe once a month, maybe the third of every month. I'm gonna come up with some regularity to this. I promise you. I promise you. Thank you for the Swift Dreamer. Thank you for the support, man. Thank you everybody for the support. Um, Name an anime character for an edit. Is this spam? I'm not really into anime, but Vegeta, go ahead. I don't know. I should call my son in here. Is Dear Mama the greatest emotional song of all time? Is one of them. I cried first time I heard Dear Mama. My parents had split up. Um, my mom left. We stayed with my dad, and the day before, and the day, like, my mom left, and the next day was the first time I heard Dear Mama on Hot 97. Angie Martinez played it and was like, "Ah, this is a new one from Tupac. It's called Dear Mama." He played it, boy. I was a kid, boy. Boy, I cried like a baby. I ain't cried when my mom left because everybody else was crying. I felt like I couldn't cry. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there. I was like, I gotta hold it together. Like my little brother, I saw my little brother crying. I was like, man, I can't. I gotta hold it together for him. And I might be like 13 at the time or something. I gotta hold it together. And then I was in my room by myself the next day, and Hot 97 played Dear Mama for the first time, and I let it go. You know what I'm saying? So yes, Dear Mama to me is a special song. Um, Greatest emotional song of all time. I don't know. That's subjective, but for me, yeah, I agree. It's up there. I don't want to hear Big Sean until he disses somebody, man. You so negative, man. Sean's a nice guy. Sean is a nice fucking guy. Yeah, I got a funny story for y'all about Sean. Shout out to Sean. I said this to him, and he was like, so Sean, Sean got a Rockefeller chain. I'm such a big Rockefeller fan, right? Sean got a Rockefeller chain. And I was with him one day, and he had the rock chain on, and I said, "Bro, y'all, I just wanted to know what it feels like. If any pause, if any of y'all seen me, I got my Right to Dream chain, and that was my version of a Rockefeller chain because I was like, all right, I'm never getting a rock chain, man. I'm about to make my own. This is Right to Dream thing. So Right to Dream is like my thing. But Sean had the Rockefeller chain. Hey, bro, can I try it on? Yeah, man, of course. Sean's the nice guy. Yeah, man, of course. Sean, let me try on the chain. Take a picture. So I got a picture of me with the rock chain on, but I never ever posted it because at the end of the day, I'm wearing another guy's chain, right? And he was like, and years later, I told him, I was like, I never posted that picture in case me and you ever got into a battle. Because if that picture's on the internet and we got into a battle, that's some shit you could diss me about. Oh, you little bitch, I had you wearing my chain. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm thinking, right? And Sean was just like, why would we ever battle? Like, you're my friend. Like, we would never, like, it would never, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yeah, dog, I love you. Like, it never." And so I just say that, say Sean's a nice guy, man. I think Sean is deadly. I think Sean is absolutely capable of battling and dissing somebody for sure. But I just don't think that's where his focus is at. So I might erase this too. I don't want that story out here. That might be just be for y'all. But that Big Sean story is a real story. So shout out to Sean, man. That's my guy. Thoughts on the Clips reunion? I feel like Malice is being like Mace rapping about street stuff again. I can't wait for the Clips reunion, man. Shout out to Malice, shout out to Push. I mean, I was with them. I haven't seen them. It's probably been about a year now. We had them performing out in Queens in Genius. I knocked down center, man. We do a free show. Anybody who was out there, shout out to y'all, man. But I think we're gonna see an elevated version of the Clips. I think we're gonna see an evolution of the Clips. I don't know that Malice is gonna come out rapping the same thing. But even if you think about it, if you even let's go back and listen to the casket drops, Malice was rapping a lot. It wasn't all drug talk. Malice, you listen to the casket drop, and you could see how Malice was evolving into something else then. So I think we're gonna see a more evolved Clips album. Um Tacos or burgers. I had tacos tonight, but I told you I'm off these carbs, so I just put the tacos in the lettuce wrap and put everything on top. So I had tacos tonight. Tomorrow I'm gonna have burgers, no bread though. I'm gonna use lettuce buns. Pause. All right, I'm about to get out of here. Do you think Eminem was dissing Jay-Z on Toby? No, I do not. Dynamics, my guy. I'm not sending that pic, dog. Boy, nah, hell no. But that shit was funny. I still got it in my phone too, man. Me with the rock chain, like that shit is epic. Like, how many people really get to put a rock chain on, dog? Like, I had to, like, come on. But and we got the picture and everything, but I never post. Every time, there's a couple times too. I went to go post it, like, I'm like, nah, I can't post this shit. You know what I'm saying? And when I told Sean about that, he was just like, man, why would I ever diss you, man? That's so funny. You on that keto diet? I'm trying, dog. I'm trying. Yep. Best punchlines: Cassidy, Banks, or Fab. Who's the best? For me, it's a toss up between Banks and Fab. Nah, I don't got a Rock Nation chain, man. I don't got a rock chain. I was talking about somebody let me try. Big Sean let me wear his chain. I took a picture of it, but I don't have a chain now, dog. I think you, Clep one. Man, shout out to Clep one and it's the real, the only ones with pics with the chain. Yeah, but I ain't posting mine. Like I feel like Eric and Jeff could get away with that. Like I feel like nobody's gonna come for Eric and Jeff. I feel like, man, if you see me wearing somebody else's chain, man, you know the timeline, dog. They gonna clown. We not doing that, man. Man, shout out to Clep, man. Shout out to Eric and Jeff. Yo, I'm out of here though. I'll get to the casket drops again. Don't think the production did it for me. Any insight? Yeah, Neptunes did this album. Yeah, this Clips album is heavy. Well, no, I don't know if it's Neptunes. I'm sorry, Pharrell. I don't think that Chad worked on this album, but the next Clips album is heavy Pharrell, if not all the way Pharrell. All right, yo, check it out, man. I'm out of here. Oh wait, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more because I just seen this out the corner of my eye. It's a great question. CK said, "Why is Big in your top five with just two albums? It's 90 nostalgia because more artists have more albums in time, like Drake and the new guys." Absolutely, you're right. More guys have more albums. Um, but there's a misconception. Yes, Big only had Ready to Die and Life After Death. First of all, two classics. Life After Death was a double, so that's damn near three albums. And the output of Big from 94 to 97, in them 3 years between Ready to Die and Life After Death, all of the features, the mixtape joints he did, the remixes, all of that, like Big had more than two out. Like I think we talk about Big with two albums, but I was there in real time. The way Big flooded the streets, the way Big flooded with music, the way we didn't even get a chance to miss Big. He dropped Ready to Die in 94 and then Life After in 97. It wasn't like there was a 3-year gap or drought of Big. Big was omnipresent. Big was forefront, front and center from 94 all the way up until he died. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it might be nostalgia, but also nobody was rapping better than him. Like that's all he needed. That's all he needed. You know what I'm saying? To me, with those two things. Yeah, I think Drake has way more, but Big just didn't get to live that long, man. They took him out, man. He was 24 years old to do what he did at 24 years old. I'm sorry, he's always gonna be top five on my list. And sometimes it's not about quantity, it's about quality. You know what I mean? But check it out. I'm out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. This was fun. I ain't know who's gonna show up. I ain't think we was gonna be successful. I was only planning to go for an hour. But we went two. That's crazy. Damn, my question had a typo, but after your MTV News video, Rob, can you make hip hop docs and storytelling way better than MTV News? If I had the budget, yeah, maybe one day we'll get to that. That'd be great. That'd be amazing. Need the budget. We need the right funding. We need the right partners. But I would love to do that. I would love to make that my mission. Who knows what the future holds? All right. But I'm out, yo, man. We've been here for 2 hours. We're gonna do this again for sure, man. But I appreciate y'all. All right. Peace.